Welcome to Wilameana's World podcast, where culture, music, hot topics, business, and beyond collide. I'm your host, Wilameana Jones, inviting you to join me on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop with our latest episode releases. Yo, what's good? It's your girl, Wilameana Jones, checking in live right now for an exclusive. And I'm so excited to be back for a new season. And I was thinking, like, who would be better than to start this new season with other than the one and only Miss Tiptra? How you doing?
How are you?
Yes. Good, hanging in there, back outside. So, I want to jump my new season off, and I've been just sitting back, just looking at, everything everybody's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, since King of Diamond days, like, you been bae. So I was just like, yes, I was just like, I really wanted to talk to you and just, first of all, I just want to say I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, from the first time we've had an exclusive interview, I'm talking about after the fall and the tragedy and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like, you've been my ace boon ever since. I could hit you up, like, you always come
for
through.
having me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that, But I just wanted to talk to you about, the lifestyle and everything that's going on with you now, and just pretty much like where you've been from. Because now it's not even just, it's not even dancing tip, no. It's like director tip,
right, exactly.
like author tip.
Yep.
Like, so what is up? What's good with you?
Well, I have my book out, The Bottom Line. Y'all make sure y'all go get that. Okay, available everywhere books are sold. I am right now trying to turn my book into a series, that one. But I also wrote another book that I am currently filming and turning that into a series too.
Okay, so that's what's going on, because I'm not gonna lie, I was like, okay, I thought you were just like taping for The Bottom Line, like.
No, I'm gearing up to do that. I'm structuring that, getting that together. But while I'm doing that, because that has to be done grade A, you know what I'm saying?
Big time.
With a big budget, you feel me? So I'm working on that. And while I'm doing that, I'm turning my second book, which is not released, my third book, sorry.
Okay.
Which is not released yet. I'm turning that into a series currently.
I'm so happy to see, because, baby, like, from just even following you back in the day on Twitter and the stories that you used to tell, it used to be
mad
like.
that I got locked out of my Twitter account, because those were the days. I used to tell some good. But they was
stories.
real though. Those stories was real.
Listen, I remember, like, specifically, like, oh no, I'm tuned in. Like, it was a live.
It was like Twitter after
book.
dark. Everybody used to be waiting for tips.
Listen, and the exclusive stories. And I remember one, it was like he was on the highway and going through it, and all this.
Got
and
shot
I'm
at.
like, and we like, is this real? And notice you like, this is real life.
It was real life.
So that's from, seeing those stories and everything, I've been on you, because I'm like, listen, she was telling some real stories.
Right.
So I was excited when you started rapping, because I was like, this is her. She's being herself.
Right.
She's talking about her lifestyle. So many people, like, with rapping or entertainment, it's like you making up this lifestyle, or you right. But I'm like, no, I was feeling it, because I'm like, no, she's really living this life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And I think that's kind of what separated me from the rest of the girlies at that time.
Yes, and then not to mention, like, you was already a celebrity in your own right. Like, artists was talking to sing about you in their songs, and like, it was really like. So how is it now? Because I know you went from dancing into like hosting and everything. I don't think the culture is like the same from back then to like what is now. What's your take or perspective on everything?
Well, the game is definitely not the same. The industry is not the same. There's a lot more being done for a lot less. And I work smart. I don't work hard. So I can't indulge in what's going on right now. I got to stay in my own lane and do my own thing. You feel me? Like, I just woke up one day out of nowhere and was like, I'm not dancing no more. And I haven't danced since then. It's going on 5 years.
Wow, but it still have maintained relevancy. You still been, you know, outside
it's been hard,
of that.
but I've been doing it.
No, you still in the game, and even like you got on Love and Hip Hop and everything like that for you. And I know you was used to making that fast money and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, what led you to even say, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this?
For me, it was the timing. Like dancing, I had done it for so long. And it was just time to elevate, time to move on. I just, like, I woke up, it was like I got a message from God. Like, it was like, he whispered in my ear, like, don't do this no more. And I swear to God, like, I had no plans. I had nothing. I had some money saved. And so after I woke up, like, I was like, I'm not dancing no more. I probably partied for the next 6 months because that was right before the pandemic. That was November before the pandemic. And I partied all the way till about March because I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had never thought about a plan B. I never thought about like a career. I was just so used to making $10,000 a night consistently. So that's what I was used to. I never thought about nothing else. And so when I decided not to dance anymore, those 6 months I just spent wilding out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to work. I ain't had no like major responsibilities. And then one day I'm like, bruh, you can't do this either. You
right.
You
gotta be some type
the
of
money
plan.
going down,
right.
the savings is going down.
Right.
Bills still gotta get paid. I'm like,
and you're used to a certain lifestyle,
right.
so you gotta maintain
and
it.
I was like, I never went to school before. I didn't have anything. So I was like, what the hell am I gonna do that I'm gonna make the same money that I did dancing? But I knew that I was not going back to dancing. It was over for me, mentally. I had these onesies. I bought these onesies like that January. Yes, I bought these onesies. Thank you, thank you.
I did.
These onesies I bought the January before the pandemic came, right? And
the backwoods.
The backwoods. I had bought 50 onesies. And I just would walk by them in the living room every day as I'm going out to party, as I'm doing whatever, I just walk by the onesies. So then the pandemic came. And when the pandemic came, it was April. We were filming for Love and Hip Hop, the reunion. So I was like, I'm going to go live and I'm going to wear one of these onesies just to talk about the reunion. I go live. I sold 250 onesies during that live and I only had 50. So I'm like, oh shit, this is a whole nother business.
Right.
So I ended up.
Because my order took a little long to come, you know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining or anything. You know what I'm saying? You doing a little extra.
Listen, I was doing everything myself. Like, and then.
You threw a little extra, so we're not complaining. Customer service.
Right. You see?
Yeah.
I was doing everything on my own. Like, I had to learn that business because that was a whole business. Like, I was making like more than dancing. I'm making like 30 grand off of onesies. You know what I'm saying? So I lied. After I had sold 250 during that one live, I only had 50. I lied to everybody. I was like, oh, we backed up because of the pandemic, but really I didn't have any more. Wow. And I had to hurry up and order. And then I had to really learn that drop shipping, Shopify, you know, the Shopify, the having your online store. I had to learn. That was a whole nother business and a whole nother game that I had to master. And eventually I got it. And that was the start of my digital money.
That's beautiful because, man, you've always been a hustler. So now not only have you wrote books, but now I see you also telling people how they could get their book published and stuff. I'm like, this hustle don't stop.
Right, it don't stop at all.
Doesn't.
It don't stop.
And then you know what I also admire about you is just being able to be an entertainer, staying relevant, but still being a mom, like on top of everything. And it's crazy because it's like we pretty much see your son like grow up.
Yep.
Like
everybody sees son grow up. Yeah.
Yes.
For me, it was like regardless of what type of lifestyle I was living, my child came first. So, you know, I could go out and go party or whatever, but I knew my son had to be at school. So I had to be at home at a certain time. Now, I might be a little tipsy, but he was going to school. I was going to sleep while he was at school. When he got home, it was time for homework. And then he had football practice and football games on Saturday. I'm getting off of work Friday. Half drunk at the games, but you know what I'm saying? But I was there and I made it happen. And, you know, my son, I was always a mom first, regardless. And I was a strict mom. Like, I wasn't how people would have thought. Everybody probably would have thought that I would have been like very not care, you know, let my son run around, be with everybody. No, I was the total opposite.
Right.
And like, I take pride in that because it was a lot of dancers that you can't balance the two because it is very hard. You know what I'm saying? You working nights, you drinking, you dealing with men, you doing, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to balance too as a single mom also. So the fact that I did it, you know, I definitely pride myself on that.
Definitely, absolutely. So salute to you, because I always say that, like, it didn't matter, like, if she was out there partying, whatever, trust. She was gonna be at that football game.
Hot as hell. I don't even know, like, why do they make them practice so many days a week? Like,
because they gotta
don't get it.
They gotta get it.
From 4 years old, my son was in 4 at Carroll City. He started.
Well, something worked because he's in school now.
Well, he's in college now, playing football. He's a starting running back. So it paid off, but it was tough.
So how's he doing it as far as schooling?
He's doing good with his grades. He's very responsible. He's very respectful. That's what I love the most. That's what I love. The biggest compliment I get is that he's so respectful. He's getting into photography.
Okay.
So, and he's taking it serious and he's doing his thing. So he's hustling up there doing photography. He'd be like, Ma, I gotta go do a photo shoot. I gotta go do this. So, you know, he's doing good.
Hustle come natural.
Right.
His mama,
Exactly.
Yes. That's what's up. So, as far as the book, the bottom line, because you've been promoting this for a minute, and I know it's a book based on, is it loosely, or is it real?
It's real. Every story in my book is real. It's either something that I've been through or something that I've seen with my own eyes. So every story is real.
Yeah, because I know one was like really touching. I can't remember the character because I read it so long ago, but it was like she was getting pimped, and she didn't know at first because she was so young, you know, and it's crazy because it talks about grooming, how, you know, men are doing that and pimping behind the scenes, and like, we wouldn't know that. We just see the girls going to work, whatever, but it's just so much going on. And like in the end, you basically were saying that you wrote this book because you wanted people to look at these women as human beings and like, okay, if they had to do this, like something had to happen in order for them to be in this position. So I guess not to be so judgmental of
and that's exactly why I wrote the book, because when I was dancing, it was, you know, it wasn't glamorized. Like, you had teachers, you had nurses doing what they had to do, but it was discreet. And then there was no Instagram, there was no social media, so everybody's not filming. You know, we was hustling, but it wasn't like we wanted everybody to know, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a stigma behind being a dancer, and, you know, everybody has a story. It's not like you wake up and be like, I want to be a stripper. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's why every story I start from when the woman is a child, so you could see her mentality, see what she went through, see what she was up against, and see why she made that decision to dance. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a story, but there are some women who just like to do it, like the attention, like to be naked. There's some women like that, and there's some women in my book like that, but there's other women that really had no choice or really didn't know any other way out, and they made that decision. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wrote the book, because back then it wasn't really glamorized. But now dancing is like, the girls are 17 wanting to get BBLs, and they want to be dancers at 18 because that's when it's legal.
Right.
You know, so I'm not a pro stripper. I'm not somebody that's gonna be like, I'm gonna tell your niece, your daughter, you know, oh, go dance. I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like everybody. I feel like if you could find another way, you should. You know, unfortunately, I didn't have anybody to direct me out of that, and I mean, it was tough. It ain't for the weak, and it ain't for everybody.
Yes, and I'm just happy that, you know what I'm saying, you made it through, you kept hustling.
I came out on the other side. Amen. I've seen a lot of girls, get killed, they get on drugs, they go out bad. I've seen a lot of girls not make it out, and, you know, by the grace of God, I did, and that's why I'm here to tell my story, and maybe I can help someone else's little girl, you know, niece, not, you know, be like, not look at Instagram and be like, oh, I want to do what she's doing, or I want the change she got, or I want to be with the rapper boys, because that's not really what life is, you know.
So You pretty much have been like an open book, like, you know, you mentioned like social media, you mentioned about, you know, girls now, they being 17 years old feeling like they got to have a BBL to be in the game and everything. Like, how do you feel about that? Especially like you went through some like hardships and everything with it. So now how do you feel? Like, do you wish you never done it, or
no, I don't regret none of the choices I made because they made me who I am, and shit, the choices I made is making me money because I could tell those stories, you know what I'm saying? So I don't regret none of the choices I made. Do I wish maybe I could have went a different route? I don't know, because then I wouldn't be who I am. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun and I made a lot of money. So I don't think I would, I don't regret it. I don't think I would. I can say I would change it. I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot.
Yeah, I am sure you did. So now with just social media and everything taking over, how do you feel like it has an effect on people as far as like relationships and just the way just people act in general? Because I'm just like how you was talking about earlier, how we used to have Twitter after dark and used to be a lot more. For me, it was like more jokes and fun. Like now I feel like it's a lot of people that really just sit behind the keyboard and just attack people. I'm talking about from the, why is it 7 o'clock and you negative and you mad and you angry? Right.
Well, I think for me, first of all, I'm a World Star baby. Remember, I used to pay to have my videos on World Star to listen to everybody talk about how I look like a midget, how I should have died, how I ain't got no neck, like everything you could think of that was negative was on World Star. So from World Star, I learned not to look at the negative comments. Don't look at the comments, period, especially from World Star. But now with Instagram, honestly, I don't think Instagram is as bad as World Star, but it is, I mean, there's some messed up people out there, and Instagram just goes to show you how far we are from God's purpose for the people, because nobody moves with love and empathy. Like it's a platform to judge others, whether it's in a good way or in a bad way. You scroll up, you see your friend wearing something nice, she got nice hair, whatever, you liking it, you comment based on what she's wearing or what she's putting out there. And then if it's something negative or somebody doing something you don't like, you don't agree with, instead of trying to understand where that person is coming from and why they're posting like that, people would just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, you're an idiot, you're this, you fucked up, whatever. People will say to me, like, if I comment on the blogs, they'll be like, oh, that's why you should have died when you fell and stuff like that. But people are just cruel. But the platform, if you let it mess you up, because some people they're delusional. Like, some people really, Instagram to me is like those VR headphones, the VR headsets. So when you put the headset on, you're in that world, that virtual world. But when you take that shit off, it's back to reality. Some people don't know how to go back to reality. They really live. They got a certain amount of followers. They putting on, so now everything they got to do got to be big because they're putting out this big perception, when really they sleeping on an air mattress. And
I hear this all the time.
You know what I'm saying? And I see it. Like, being in the industry for so long, I've seen people faking it, doing the most to look that part. But sad to say, people praise that. People praise people doing, you know, the fake shit rather than somebody who's really out here being authentic and really grinding and try. Because, okay, so me, I drive a Volkswagen right now, right? But all these years that I drove foreigns, it wasn't because I was into cars. It was because everybody else is saying, you tip drill, you can't drive a Honda Accord, you can't, you know what I'm saying? I would have been fine personally driving a Honda Accord, right? But when I had those foreign cars, I'm paying $15,000, $20,000 down on a car, spending $1,200, $1,500 a month on a car note, had no credit, had no financial literacy. Right now, I'm the happiest I've ever been. You know, I'm driving a Volkswagen. My car notes is barely nothing. I went to the dealership, paid nothing down. I got good credit. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different mentality. So even me, I've never lived for Instagram. Like, I've always been myself for social media. But even now, like, I'm just myself. I'm not into competing with everybody. I'm not here to, like, compare. You know, people be like, oh, Tip, you should have been like her, or you supposed to be where these people is. Mentally, I'm higher than everybody. Like, I'm the shit, you feel me? Like, I had so much growth mentally that I don't see none of that. All that material stuff, it don't do nothing for me. And that's just what social media is. It's for everybody to put a perception, show the world, this is who I am. You seen the picture where they have the mask over the guy's face and the mask is happy, but the guy take off the mask and he's really sad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them people that put on that persona, they are unhappy. They don't have no relationship with God because they chasing money, they chasing an image and stuff like that. So if you get caught up in that whole digital, virtual, social media, false Instagram reality shit, you'll be fucked up. You gotta move with purpose, and you gotta stay the course, because that shit is meant to throw us off. But you know,
when did you get to that point? Because this is mature tip. So when did you get to that point where it's like, I'm not comparing. Don't matter, like this doesn't
material
make me,
stuff don't matter. I've never been extremely materialistic, but I did live for what people said. Like, if I didn't, you don't got on designer, so you ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? Or you ain't driving a certain type of car, so you ain't making no money. I would say, like, within the last, after I fell, after I stopped that, because this what happened. I'm dancing, I'm making all this money. My ego is high, I'm the shit, I'm Tip, fuck everybody. If I want to go buy a new car, man, I crashed one car, went and bought a new car the next day. Like, put 20 grand down, thought I was, you know what I'm saying? But that was really ignorance, you get what I'm saying? So now, after I fell and I had to I started waitressing. So I'm not making the same money. So that shit humbles you, because now every dollar count, and now you gotta, and for me, it's always been like, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to work for myself. So all that money that I'm making, I gotta invest in myself one way or another. So every dollar count. So that's when I started looking at shit differently. I started prioritizing, you know, started saving. I've saved more money now than I did dancing, and I was making $150,000, $200,000 a year.
And then you talk a lot now about, you know, just finding God and your purpose. I've heard you say that a few times. So right now, leaving, you know, certain things behind, is this the happiest you've been? Or what does happiness
mentally
look like to
you? For sure. I'm still a work in progress, but this is the happiest mentally I've been. Like, I'm so proud of myself, because I overcame a lot. It was a lot of stuff I went through that was supposed to break me, and you know, I pushed through. I still got, you know, a little bit of practicing to do as far as like emotional control. Once I have emotional control, I think that's when I'll be the most free. But I'm almost there, because I now I'm at the point where I have those emotional outbreaks or outbursts, and you know, those messed up reactions. I notice it. Before I ain't notice it. It was just like, bitch, I'm gonna run you over, I'm gonna shoot your ass, I'm gonna kill you, and that was that. But now I notice it. So that's like the first step. And I feel like once I master emotional maturity and emotional intelligence, I'll be free. For sure.
Listen, I just learned that word last weekend. No, I'm just saying. But listen, I would just react. My emotions, I would overthink. I wouldn't even think about the outcome of me just reacting, and I would just do it. And I was like, I realized I was sabotaging so many relationships because I would just act out. Right. I didn't know.
But I think for a lot of us, we black, we come from the hood, we come from parents who, you know, it was tough love, and, you know, we wasn't, if they did something to us, we reacted. You know, you grow up, somebody hit you, hit their ass back. That's not emotional intelligence. You feel what I'm saying? So we're taught that it's going to take so many years of unraveling all those years of having one mindset.
Yeah, a new way of thinking.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm so glad to see that, you know, you walking in your purpose and
maturing a little bit. You know, I'm trying to grow up a little bit.
Right. So when can we expect this new, the movie, and where will people be able to see it? Once it in the book, it's a lot going on.
Okay, it's a lot. Okay, so first I have the audio book of The Bottom Line Part 1. Now, remember, The Bottom Line came out in 2012. Like, and we in 2024, right? And I've been promoting that one book, but over time, writing that book, that's a whole nother business. Writing books, being an author, that's a business. Like, you can become, there are multimillionaires from writing books, and I see what it does, and the return on investment is so high that, and it doesn't take a lot of work, that I love that lane. You know what I'm saying? The book, I didn't really put a marketing plan behind the Bottom Line Part 1. I just been putting on Instagram. So I'm actually going to put a marketing plan behind that. I got the audiobook fine, and for years everybody's been asking for the audiobook. That's finally dropping June 1st. Right after that, maybe like September, I'm going to drop the Bottom Line Part 2. And then January, I have my third book, Hotels. And then in January is when I plan on dropping the series.
So
but
would
we're
you
filming
do it,
all year.
Okay, cool. Would you do it like a Netflix type series, or would you do it more of like a movie?
It's not a movie, it's a series. This first one, man, I don't know, cause it's Netflix quality, but that's not my goal. My goal isn't for this to be on Netflix, but you know, God's plans is bigger than mine, so we'll see. It might be on Netflix.
Yes, amen. Yes, so I'm so thankful, and I appreciate our relationship, and I'm so grateful that you came through.
Thank
you know what I'm saying, and share
for always thinking of me and inviting me.
Yes, some of what is going on, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't care if it's on Tubi. You feel me? We gonna support it. We gonna support. I don't care where it's on, but we gonna support it. And we looking for it. And anything else that you like to say to viewers that's checking in or checking for you, your fans, your supporters?
Only thing I want to say is y'all can follow me on all social media platforms at Miami Tip 305, and y'all can purchase my book, The Bottom Line, on all major book platforms.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you so much for checking in.
Thank you.
Y'all keep it locked.
Wilameana
Jones.